A few years back, Next Big Sound, a company that analyzes data for music online, did a survey to discover what percentage of musicians actually get discovered, and the stats were shocking. According to MusicTimes.com breakdown of their study, it was discovered that 0.2%, less than 1% of artists are megastars, 0.9% are mainstream, again less than 1%, 1.4% are mid-sized artists, 6.8% are developing, and the whopping 90.7% rest are wholly undiscovered. That means that most rappers have more than a 90% chance of never making it in the game. With this in mind, we're gonna analyze 10 reasons most new rappers don't make it in the game. As someone who's been paid over 6 figures directly from music, including performing on multiple world tours to over 15 countries, I'm confident the insights here will be insightful to you if you're interested in the reasons why most new rappers don't make it in the game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before you begin, if you yourself are a rapper who actually wants to make it in the game, using tips from someone who's actually done this full time at a global level, pick up our free video course, The Top 20 Songwriting Secrets of Professional Rappers, by clicking the first link in the video description box below. Number 10 reason most rappers don't make it is inconsistent work ethic. While most people simply say that most new rappers are lazy, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper and say that they don't make it due to inconsistent work ethic. Most rappers might hustle their back off the first few years of rapping, but maybe get good enough to get a deal, maybe even release an album, but invariably they haven't cultivated a work ethic musically to consistently put out good product. This helps explain the one-hit wonder phenomenon, but it also, on a more relatable level, helps explain why in our personal lives we often see more struggle rappers than we do real rappers. Most struggle rappers are always about to put out that next big project that never comes. They get wrapped up in parties, the attention of maybe having a little buzz in the area, or even worse, the attention from the opposite sex, and their hustle for the music suffers for it. That brings us to number 9 reason rappers don't make it: dating ills. With that in mind, often rappers don't make it because they take a massive L in their personal, or more specifically their dating life, and that tanks their career. Whether it's baby mama drama or it's simply getting with a toxic leeching type individual, it's extremely common to see a rapper unable to consistently put out good product because they're always in some drama with whoever they're shacked up with. To put this into perspective, Warren Buffett, the multi-billionaire who is consistently listed as one of the top 5 richest people on earth, once said, "The most important investment you'll ever make is who you decide to marry." Now, we may not be here to talk about marriage, but even if you live in the Playboy lifestyle, the specific chicks you're messing with can severely affect your career. Tragically, as we all know, sometimes even rappers get bodied, literally, over a lover's quarrel, and the news always reports that the victim was an up-and-coming artist or something of this nature. Number 8 reason most rappers don't make it is local buzz goes to the head. Now, of course, it would be preferable to not have a local buzz for getting clapped over your girl, but more commonly what happens is an artist gets good enough to have buzz in their city or hood, but then is more concerned with being the GOAT in their hood rather than taking it global. This is particularly the case if the artist is from a city that really prides itself on being known as a legendary hood, such as a Philly, a Chicago, the Bay Area, etc. While many artists from these hoods do blow up and or get a lot of cash by being a local celebrity, there are still a ton of struggle rappers who waste their big opportunity by never getting out of their local environment to actually make something bigger of themselves. Are you actually thinking global or local? This is a crucial question to ask yourself. Number 7 reason rappers don't make it is poor song structure. And even if they do venture out of their local hood, they need to make sure that they actually know how to make songs that appeal to a larger audience once they get there. The fact is, most rappers only get good enough to impress other rappers, or again, maybe the chicks in their hood they're trying to mess with. They don't take the step-by-step approach to learning tried and true methods to be skilled songwriters, not just someone who can spit bars, and they take L's in their career because they haven't focused on it. Now, we've already mentioned our free video course on how to start implementing song structure, which you can get in the video description, but the very first trick every rapper who actually wants to go professional must learn is fans like songs, stands like bars. In other words, if you want to expand your audience, you'll need to master the art of song crafting rather than trying to continuously impress your possible stands with more and more dope bars or melodies if you do the melody thing. This isn't to say bars aren't dope. I'm mean, 5 Fingers of Death and LA Leakers are one of the greatest things ever in hip-hop history, but the next time you're watching them, take note of the rappers who are song-first artists and how much money they have versus bars-first artists and see what their current career is like. Number 6 reason rappers don't make it is ignoring the business. Speaking of what their current career should be like, this one is pretty obvious. Look, the artistic temperament already usually means that somebody isn't exactly big on the business. Most creative types are not huge on the commerce side. Despite that fact, there are many examples of artists that went ham on the business side and succeeded, most notably rap's first billionaire Jay-Z. However, for every Jay-Z, there are a million paynees, meaning I just want to be paid and I don't care if I sign over my life and blood for a few extra dollars. Therefore, many rappers don't make it simply because they don't invest enough energy into learning the business of music. Number 5 reason most rappers don't make it is ignoring the legals. Building on number 6, the other side of ignoring the business is ignoring the legal side of becoming a rapper. Now, of course, that could mean simply ignoring the reality that once you're in the public eye, you can't move like you used to, and the self-snitching movement of the 21st century has truly gotten out of control, no doubt. But it also means not getting a good lawyer and not reading your contracts. I mean, it's practically a joke at this point when at least once a year, a major artist runs onto their Instagram Live and does a sob story about how they got screwed over in a major contract, when the truth is they weren't trying to read any contract when they saw all those dollar signs. So many rappers don't make it simply because they don't handle the legal side of things. Number 4 reason rappers don't make it is temperament issues. Another reason they may not cross the T's and dot the I's when it comes to their contracts and businesses because frankly they might just be egotistical people with a bad temperament. In other words, they may have unaddressed anger or trauma issues that they swept under the rug in order to get good at rap, or because they were already so talented nobody really cared at the time. Additionally, having bad temperament, or in other words just having off vibes, can affect potential business dealings in the future. This explains on the high end why some rappers can be extremely huge for maybe a year or two, and then after a while they fade out because they are difficult to work with behind the scenes. And on the lower end, why some rappers can never make it out the hood. I mean, they're simply too tough to do business with, and nobody in the circle is telling them they have to change. Which brings us to number 3, the yes man phenomenon. And not having anyone near you telling you what you can improve on is an excellent example of the yes man phenomenon. Now, I'm sure we've all heard about where your people in your circle just say yes to you. Yes man. Now again, on the high end of a career, this looks like people letting the rapper drink and drug themselves literally to death, and we've seen this in every genre of music. But on the up-and-coming end of the spectrum, that might be simply friends not telling you your music is whack and needs to be improved, or even the reverse. They may not tell you that you are good as hell and seriously need to, not should, not think about, but need to move out of your local neighborhood and get this thing popping. Honestly, I'm unsure how to rap would be at 500,000 subscribers if I didn't have friends and colleagues who told me both when we were not doing well and when we had a valuable channel and we had to put on the afterburners. So avoid yes men at all costs on either side. Number 2 reason most rappers don't make it is bedroom rapper syndrome. On the other hand, if you are more introverted, you probably don't have a bunch of yes men around you because you don't leave the house. This is what we call the bedroom rapper syndrome, where a so-called artist is really only an artist in their bedroom and doesn't actually get out in public and make music for the masses. They don't do shows, they may or may not release a lot of music, they aren't in the streets, they're just an artist in their own mind and nothing else. If you feel like you're one of those rappers, you need to immediately force yourself to start making new music, writing on new topics, and getting out there. We'll include a second free video course called How to Write a Rap on Any Topic in 20 minutes or less, which can help guide you on how to have something written right here, right now to get out of your bedroom syndrome, which you can get in the second link in the video description. And our last major reason rappers don't make it is simply the lack of passion that it takes to become a major artist. Look, ABC has estimated that the entire rap industry is worth more than $10 billion and growing. That's $10 billion worth of competition waiting at your doorstep. Therefore, if deep, dark insecurity or on the flip side, out of this world ego issues are stopping you from putting your career on the line to make it, it's unlikely you'll be able to get money in this game. There's simply too much competition out there and tons of money in this thing. So as much passion as is humanly possible is required in order to gain notoriety in the world's most lucrative genre of music. Now, we've offered some free resources in this video to help guide you along the way, but at the end of the day, it's gonna come to the man or woman in the mirror. Do you have passion to take over a $10 billion industry? We'll leave you to decide your answer. Now, we want to see in the comments, can you give us one example of a rapper who took one of the L's listed in this article? We love reading the comments. We love responding to the comments. I've been your host, Drew Morrissey, the big homie Drew for How to Rap. I'm out.